So what about the lessons this week, Matthew? What we got from the story? Got a couple of things, I think, haven't we?
Yeah, always email NASA, regardless of your issue, regardless of what you're looking for.
They just get back to you so damn quick that
Yeah.
it's worth emailing them about anything.
Yeah, I'm just asking them all sorts of life advice. But no, it's a funny one, I suppose, because on one hand you say to people, like, if you're just starting a podcast, especially if you're new to it, don't just like interview your heroes as
Yes.
your first 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So I would say, not blow my own trumpet or that, but if you're an experienced enough podcaster that you know, and I'm tempting the gods with fate here, that you could actually go and record the interview and not make
Yeah.
a mess of it.
Yes.
So that's going to happen now.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, if you're starting a new show, definitely do aim quite high with it.
Yeah. So what the principle there is that if you're starting a new interview show, a lot of people will claim that you shouldn't go in at the top. You shouldn't start off with really good people because in the first 10 episodes of you interviewing somebody, of you interviewing people, your skills aren't going to be up there, are they? You're not going to get the best from them.
Yeah.
You should be practicing learning your trade before you get the top people. But then you've got the chicken and the egg scenario whereby, getting the big people in early can grow your numbers, can get a lot of visibility, basically, get some really good content. So you would say if you are brand new, maybe don't email NASA.
Yeah.
Or start off, so you're going on, you're already an experienced interviewer.
Yeah, like I should be fine.
You will be fine.
Yeah.
You will be fine. But yeah, I mean, it's around the fact that even at this stage, we could have said, right, we're not going to email. Why would we email NASA? They're a huge corporate, they're a huge organisation. Why would they get back to us? Why would they be interested in contributing to our show? But turns out
they were. I think that's a great euphemism as well. Email NASA. It could mean anything but literally email NASA.
So yeah, it's worth aiming high. Have some backups, obviously, because it's not going to turn out so well every single time. But definitely try and aim high with at least 1 or 2 of your options in the early days, as long as you know you can deliver on it. I think there was another lesson in there as well, which I think is around skills. So, I think you could create a really good informational documentary type podcast around Titan. So you could create a good show around that with your interviewing skills, with your production skills, storytelling skills, all that kind of stuff. Yeah?
Yeah, I'd hope so.
You could also create a really good audio drama. In fact, you have created a really good audio drama based on this.
Yeah.
Is Kraken Mayor on Titan?
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. So okay. So you have done both.
So I've
of
already
those.
been there.
Yeah. But both of those aren't hugely unique, are they? Because there are documentaries out there on space that would be a similar type of format. There are audio dramas out there, probably not about Kraken Mayor, but there's audio dramas out there in a sci-fi vein, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get a unique element to them. But combine 2 skills which are very different. You've got factual audio production, and you've got writing a story and creating a fiction piece of writing or audio, whatever it is. They're 2 very different skills, but you can combine them because you have both. So I think there's a lot of people out there will have areas of their life which they think are completely unrelated that they can combine to create something really unique, create something really great. And I mean, thinking about this in my own life, I've got a bunch of stuff. We've got obviously the podcasting side of things, but then I've got a big background in education as well. And I think that's one of the things that makes our courses, or I try and help it make our courses stand out at the podcast host, because I've got a huge background in research and all that kind of stuff and how to make great courses. So combining those 2 things. And I mean, even with the mountain biking podcast that we run, we barely try that. I barely try promoting that, barely try doing anything particular with that. But because I really that's one of my big passions, but I also happen to do podcasting for a job, the mountain biking podcast that we run, Mountain Bikes Apart, actually does really well without trying at all, because it's a cut above the rest just because of the skills brought into a different area, I suppose. Does that make sense?
So what you're saying is bring in the Venn diagram? Is that what they call
that's
them?
The way. Yeah.
Do a Venn diagram.
Yes.
Here's my 2 completely unrelated skills.
Yeah.
Here's the wee bit in the middle.
Yeah.
What could possibly happen? And you might come up with some.
Yeah, exactly. They say that that's the definition of creativity, actually, in some places. I've read a book about that, where you are able to combine completely disparate ideas, completely disparate, niches, sectors, industries. Bring an idea from one industry into another industry, and that's you suddenly being creative, even though you're just copying. You're copying something to do in a different industry, bringing it to yours, but it's creative because you're having to think a little bit different about how it can apply to your own. So, yeah, worthwhile thinking about that. See if there's two different things in your life that you can bring together, create something really unique that can have a really unique selling point that brings on an audience to you. So that's our lessons for this week. Hope they are useful. We'll try and get some more from the next story next week.